Hi everyone, this is Cat Coloring and welcome back to my channel. This time I have a review for you with the Castle Art 120 Premium Soft Touch Colored Pencils. And here they are in this tin box. I know that there are a lot of reviews of the Castle Art 120 Premium pencils out there, but this time it's from a European and a Danish view, because there are some problems with these pencils that other reviews don't focus on. Well, we'll get to that. First off, they are in this tin box, and it's not that easy to open, and it's connected to the rest of the box, so it's not a loose lid. You can see here in the lid, you can see the colors, but of course I don't trust these painted colors. We'll have to swatch them to see what colors these pencils actually have. Inside we have some leaflets from Castle Art, a pencil tutorial in 5 easy stages. That's interesting because I have a lot of other brands of coloring pencils and none of them have this little tutorial with them, so that's interesting, I think. And it's quite nice that there is such a little tutorial if you can use it. Then we have a little leaflet here about the products, I think. Oh, they also have acrylic paint and gouache paint. I didn't know that. Well, I know now. They also have brush pens, metallic pencils, pastel tint pencils, and watercolor pencils. Wow. So they offer a lot of products, Castle Art here. We can see this. They also have a leaflet here about colored pencils. Ooh, and this is nice. They have this color wheel here and they explain the meanings of color. Of course, I know a lot about color because I have taught many classes in art. So I know the color wheel. I have also used it in my other teachings in Danish when we have analyzed pictures, paintings, commercials and so on. So knowledge about the color wheel is quite nice to have. And here they offer one, and then they also give you some information about shadow side, light side, cast shadow, and so on. So this is quite nice that they have this. Also something about strokes, blending. So if you are a beginner, I would imagine that this is quite nice to know. So Castle Art is customer friendly with this pamphlet. There is also a 120 color pencil tester sheet that you can use. I have my own swatch that I will use, but it's quite nice that there is such a little sheet. I think that these squares are a bit too small for me, so I think that I will do my own. And then this protection sheet covers the pencils. That's quite nice. I saw a review made a couple of years ago where there was a sheet and it didn't cover the pencil, so at least they have changed this. Very nice. It's, well, a thin paper, but nevertheless. And here they are, and I think that they are lying in 3 layers in some plastic, a plastic tray here. And it's quite nice to have these in the side when you buy the luminance pencils from Caran d'Ache. It's just a very tiny little piece of cloth in each side, and it's quite difficult to get the pencil trays up from the tin with the Castle Art. So I think that this is progress, and I think that it holds. Well, this one is almost loose, not quite, but you can see here. This tray is not so thick, but I don't think it's so thin that it can't hold the pencils. Oh, and there it was. So this is a solution perhaps to some problems, but I think that I will have to tape this to prevent it from popping off. It's a long tray for pencils, and it's not quite as stable as the Polychromos, if you want to compare with the Polychromos and the Prismacolors. But of course the trays with the Prismacolors are only half this size, so they are more stable. But I think it seems like they can hold the pencils here. And well, they have a lot of pink and purples I can see here. Some nice oranges too, orange colors. And the next layer, you can see they have a lot of green colors and blues also. Some of these could be used for coloring skin. And the last layer here, more blues, purples, pinks, turquoise, green colors. I don't see a lot of brown colors, perhaps I know. There aren't a lot of brown colors. So mostly green, blues, purples and pinks. I wonder why they are separated, the pink colors. So they are pink in the last tray, and in the second tray, one pink, and then the rest of the pink here. I think that I want to change how the colors are in this set, so that I have all the yellows, oranges, pinks, reds and so on in the order that they're supposed to be. This is confusing for me. Well, and if we take one out, this is just completely random. We have a sky blue color here, number 46, and you can see the tip is blunt, it's not sharp. It's a wax-based pencil, so I think that I will have to sharpen the pencils before I use them to remove any residual leftover wax and to make the tip sharp and pointy, not blunt. I am not quite sure. I think that this one looks quite light, or at least lighter than the tip. So I have a sneaking suspicion that this is exactly like the review I did of the Derwent Inktense, that the color painted here on the pencil, this is phthalo green light, number 51, it doesn't match the end. You can see here it's darker here than this color. You can also take, I think I will take a yellow one here. So we will definitely have to swatch these, but it's also a very good advice when you buy a new coloring pencil brand to swatch all the colors so you can see how the colors really are. So this was the first impression. So let's get more into these pencils. So I have sharpened all my pencils and I have swatched them, and during the sharpening and swatching I learned quite a few things. You can see here with the black, it's shorter than the rest. These one were okay to sharpen, but this one, you can see here with the alizarin crimson and the burnt orange, and with a couple of the yellows, lemon yellow and golden yellow deep, they are much shorter than the rest of them. And why is that? I have only used them to do the swatching. It's of course because they cracked when I sharpened them. You have to be careful sharpening the Castle Art pencils here because they crack. I also accidentally dropped one on the floor and it cracked too. It was one of these pink ones. Can't remember which one. I think it was, I think I sharpened them afterwards. so you can't see the crack, unfortunately. Well, the cores are fragile, I must say. That was one thing I noticed, that they crack. Another thing is that, as I said, you can't judge the colors by the way these coloring pencils are painted here. You can see this Terra Verde, and you can see here it's quite a light color. You can see at the point it's quite dark. And when you look at the swatch chart here, you can see that the Terra Verde is this color. So this color and this one, they don't match at all. So by swatching the colors, I have also learned quite a few things. First of all, what the colors really look like, and I have swatched as I usually do. If you have watched some of my other videos, pressed hard, eased the pressure, and very light pressure in the end. So I can see what the colors look like if you add quite a lot of pressure or hardly anything. And you can see here that they have a good yellow range of colors. There's some skin tones also, some oranges, a couple of reds, not so many reds, I must say. And then we have some of these purples. You can see I have drawn something here because a lot of the colors are a match. I simply cannot see the difference between purple light, purple, and purple deep. I mean, look at these three colors. I think that even if I wore glasses, I could hardly see the difference. You may see a slight darkening of the purple deep, but the purple and the purple light, it's extremely difficult to see any difference in these colors. Also, the numbers are weird. Why is purple light 30 and purple 29? It doesn't make any sense at all. Not at all. This was not the only thing I noticed. The Opera Rose, number 81, and Rose Pink, they are also an exact match of each other. I can't see the difference. Perhaps you can. Perhaps you have better eyes than I have, but I can't see the difference between these two colors. And these, the Bengal Rose and Bengal Rose Deep, you have to look carefully to see a slightly darker tone to the Bengal Rose Deep. The blues, I think, are all right, and the purples also. You can clearly see a coloring difference here on the dark and the light colors, and also with the blues. But as we turn to the cerulean blue middle and cerulean blue, and also the cerulean blue light here, why is the middle color lighter than the other two? I would guess that this was the light color, this was the middle, and this was a darker color, a cerulean blue deep, for example. But this is a light color, and it's actually darker than the cerulean blue and the cerulean blue middle. It's so weird, I must say. Really weird. You can also see here with the teal green and teal green light and the teal green, almost exactly the same color, and the teal green, it's only a fragment darker than the teal green light. I think that a lot of these colors where it says light, they are not light, not at all. The lightest of the pink is this azalea pink. The lightest of the blue is the cerulean blue middle. I must say, the only, apart from some of the yellows, is the green. You can see here there are some green light colors here. The castle green light, it's light, and the leaf green light, it's also light. So the green colors, I think they work a bit better. You can see some of them almost matches. You can see the phthalo green or phthalo turquoise, almost the same color. This one a little bit darker. The browns, sepia, walnut. The walnut is a bit darker, but it's difficult to see. I mean, if you color very lightly, you can't see the difference at all. The raw umber, it's different. and the brown ochre too. The Van Dyke brown and burnt umber, you can clearly see the burnt umber is a bit more dark than the Van Dyke brown, but if you add a middle pressure, you can't really see the difference. Also, some of the grays here, cool gray and cool gray deep, well, I can't see the difference. And then you might think, I need glasses. Well, I am wearing contact lenses, so I have all the help I can get to see these. I think it's very difficult. So a lot of these colors are practically the same, and I think there is no logic to the light and the dark colors. Some of the light colors are darker than the dark colors. It doesn't make any sense to me, not in my view, I must say. I also discovered, which I will show you in a minute, that these pencils are somewhat scratchy. I was told when I bought the Caran d'Ache Luminance, and I'm quite fond of those pencils, that they were scratchy. I think that I had a couple of them that were scratchy in the beginning, and then they just started being smooth as I sharpened them and used them. But these are scratchy, and they also create some dust. So I will show you how to use these pencils, how they layer, and then you can see that they also create some dust. So I will try to layer them, and this is just one layer. You can clearly see the tooth, and you can also see the dust here. Now I will try 2 layers. And then another on top. Three layers. 1, 2, and 3. You can still see the paper. 4 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I must say I'm adding a little bit of a pressure here, but you can still see the difference between 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 layers. You can still see the paper through, so we will try with 6 layers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can clearly see that the color is getting more and more vibrant, but there are still some white paper shining through. So I will try with 7 layers. 1 and 2. Perhaps I should try 3 here, and 4, 5, 6, and 7. Oh, here, yeah, you can still see the white of the paper. So if you want to get the page covered, you have to put many layers on. I think I will just try to color to burnish here. So I'm pressing as hard as I can now, really pressing, and you can see a lot of dust here. God, I hope you can see it, because I still think I can see just a tiny bit of the paper through this. So it's not quite like Polychromos or Prismacolors or some of the other brands that I'm used to color with. It takes a lot to cover the paper with these Castle Arts. They are also not as soft to color with. You can see here. If I just do it very lightly, they feel hard towards the paper when you use them. It's nothing like Prismacolor at all. So it says soft touch, and that is why I wanted them. I haven't paid money for these. I got them as a Christmas present last year. So and I haven't had time to use them. I thought that because they said soft touch, I thought that I could use them as you know, when you color a lot, and I use Prismacolor, but they are quite expensive. So I thought that if I bought or got, I didn't buy them, got a pencil, coloring pencil with a soft touch, I thought that they were something alike, and perhaps I could use these coloring pencils instead of the Prismacolors all the time. But I must say that I don't think that I can use them as a substitute for Prismacolors. They are entirely their own, and as I said here, you have to layer them and press very hard to cover the white of the paper. Of course, this is just a printing paper, but I have got a feeling that this will be the same in a coloring book. So let's put it to the test, the final test. Let's try these colors out in a coloring book and see how they perform. And if you're interested in this blue color, it was a sky blue, completely randomly picked for this little layering test. So let's see how these pencils perform in a coloring book. And this is The Magical Jungle by Johanna Basford. And I have here a page that I use for when I'm testing color combinations and trying out new blending techniques and so on. And I have chosen 3 green colors because this is a leaf page, and I also like a lot of the green colors. I think that the green colors in the Castle Art 120 set is well, perhaps there we can see the difference between light and dark colors the most. So I have chosen this, hope you can see it, Castle Green Deep and the Castle Green, and also the Castle Green Light. So the light color in the middle and the deep green color. And now I'm just going to turn on my light. And I think that I will try to color this leaf. So I will start with the darkest color. The darkest of the 3 colors, I probably should say. You can see here there are some darker colors of green if you wanted to. I think these were the Prismacolors actually. So I just want the middle to be green. You can see I'm only adding a layer. I'm pressing a little bit because I don't want to this to take half an hour coloring this. So I might add some more green. I think that I should have started with the tip of the leaf. So I will turn to the Castle Green Light and take this light green color and just color the tip of the leaves. I don't know how far up I will go. So I'm adding a bit of pressure, but not too much. So as I said that when I tried them on the normal printing paper, it took a lot of time to get some coverage. After 7 layers, still see some of the white of the paper, even though I pressed very hard. So I want to see how they perform in a coloring book. And since I color quite a lot in Johanna Basford coloring books, I wanted to try them out in this one. Yeah. So if we take the middle color, the Castle Green color, you can see here they are, oh yeah, I was just about to say they are not dusty in this book, but there you are. They are still a bit dusty. I don't know if it will change perhaps when I have colored with them for a while. I don't know. I will just have to wait and see when I have used them for quite a while if they are still dusty. And again, so I will just add some more color here, and then I will take the deep Castle Green. Don't know why they call them deep. They could just as easily have called them dark, Castle Green dark instead of deep. Well, so I will just add another layer here and try to blend here. And I must admit I'm pressing a little bit harder now, because as I said, I don't want to use half an hour on this. But I can still see the white of the paper. But if you don't want to burnish and you just want layering, I think it's okay. You can just take the, oops, wrong pencil. And it's also because these colors are very much, they don't really fit. This color on the Castle Green matches almost the Castle Green light. So I keep picking up the wrong color. It's really annoying. It's not like with polychromas or Prismacolors or the Staedtler Design Journey. You can just look at the color and pick up the pencil you want to use. You don't have to check with the number or the name. You just know what you'll get when you pick one up. So, yeah, well, as you can clearly see here and here, there are two different pencils, pencil brands, but you can clearly see here the white of the paper still shines through. You really have to layer and layer and layer the Castle Art pencils. If you don't want it to be burnished, well, it's fine, but I want my colors to pop off the page, and I must say I will have to use a burnisher pen on this one, or just layer and layer and layer. I like the colors, but it's much more difficult to use these pencils than the ones I'm already used to. So this was the coloring book test. So last thing, how do you get a hold of these Castle Arts? Well, on their own webpage they have a UK version and an American version. You can buy them. On the American webpage, they only ship to American addresses. On the English version of the homepage, they send to addresses in the UK and France and Germany. So when I visited the webpage, they had a spinning wheel where I could get a discount, and I tried it, and the first time I tried it, I got a 25% discount, and the second time a 30% discount. But it doesn't really matter because they don't ship to Denmark. So I couldn't buy the pencils here at the webpage. So I had to Google and research, and I found 2 places that ship internationally. I found it on eBay for £66 for these in the tin box. And if you want a zipper case instead, it costs £80. So it's more expensive to buy them in a zipper case than in the tin box. If you want them somewhat cheaper, you can buy them on Amazon. I found them for $60. That's 50 cents a count on Amazon. At the homepage, the normal price is $70. I found them on sale for $55. So it's that kind of a range between $60 and $70, depending on where you buy it. But I think the big problem is that you have to buy them if you live in countries in countries apart from France, Germany, the United Kingdom, and the United States. If you live in these countries, it's no problem to buy these castle art. But if you live in other countries, like, well, say the rest of Europe, Poland, Greece, Spain, Italy, Portugal, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Austria, Luxembourg, Belgium, the Netherlands, and so on, you have to buy them on Amazon. And the price will, of course, increase because you have to pay taxes and shipping fees. So I think that the big problems with castle art is that it's difficult to get a hold on them if you live in most of the world, actually, and not the United States, the UK, France, and Germany. So I think that castle art perhaps should reevaluate their marketing strategy and try to expand the sale of these pencils. So, pros and cons. Pros, the tin box, okay, and it protects the pencils. And the protection sheet is all right. I'm sorry about the noise. My dog wants to lie in another way on his pillow. The leaflets inside are very nice to have, especially the big leaflet with the color wheel and how to highlight and shade and so on. Very good to have. The variety of colors, very nice, especially if you want to color flowers or nature and stuff. The greens, blues, pinks and purples. Very, very nice range of colors, I must say. That was still my dog, sorry. They are also very budget friendly, I must say. They only cost 50 cents a piece. If I should recalculate that to Danish kroner, it would be 3.5 kroner, perhaps 4, if the dollar is expensive. So if we say 4 kroner per pencil. If I had to buy Polychromos from Faber-Castell, they cost 19 kroner per pencil. If I had to buy Caran d'Ache Luminance, I would have to pay 29 kroner per pencil. And then if I chose to buy Prismacolor, I would have to pay 34 or 35, can't remember exactly, kroner per pencil. So they are truly budget friendly, I must say. There are some room for improvement. I think the plastic trays could be better. The colors lay in a strange order. There are pinks in every tray. Why are the pinks not arranged together? So I had to rearrange them. That was a bit annoying. The paint color also, with a lot of brands, they really don't match the colors of the leads. So perhaps there's also room for improvement there. But more annoyingly, they crack when you sharpen them. A lot of them do, actually, and I have experienced this myself, but I've also heard from a lot of people who use castle art that they had difficulty trying to find a sharpener where the pencils don't crack. I'm not sure it's a sharpener. I think that perhaps it is the pencils. So, more seriously, a lot of the colors are the same as I've shown you earlier on in the video, and perhaps they should just change it to 100 set of colored pencils instead of 120, because a lot of the colors, they are the same, and why do you have to pay for the same color twice? It's a bit strange. If you want a lot of light colors, Castle Art may not be your first choice because there aren't many light colors in this set. As I showed you, a couple of the yellows and some of the greens, and one, I think, of the pinks were truly light. The others were middle color, in the middle color range, or darker. They dust when you color with them. That's also annoying. But perhaps it's because they are budget friendly and all that. The tip is also not soft touch. It's quite hard, actually. But the most serious matter with these pencils are that if you live in Denmark like I do, it's difficult to get a hold of these pencils because they only sell them in the United States, the UK, and France and Germany. At least they ship to France and Germany from the UK. So all of the rest of us from Europe and the rest of the world, we have to buy them online from eBay or Amazon. And then they are not so budget friendly because you have to pay a lot of extra shipping fees and taxes. So the price will rise and they will not cost 50 cents a pencil. Still cheaper than Prismacolor, I will admit, but when they are not perfect. If you live in the UK, the United States, and France and Germany, where it's easy to get a hold of these pencils, well, they could be a good beginner's choice, I must say. But when it's so difficult to get a hold of them, I don't think they would be my first choice as a beginner colorist. It's much easier to get a hold of Faber-Castell or Staedtler in most European countries, so I think that I would start with the Staedtler Design Journey, for example, or some of the ordinary Faber-Castell pencils, rather than trying to get a hold of the Castle Arts, because it's so difficult and they just get more expensive this way when you have to import them to your own country. Well, that was it. This was my review of the Castle Arts 120 Premium Soft Touch colored pencils. I hope that you got some knowledge about these pencils, and perhaps it will help you choose if you want to invest in these pencils. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that you will like it, and I certainly hope that you will subscribe to my channel for more videos. I plan on more reviews in the near future. Have a nice day. Happy coloring. Bye.